Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I'll be telling you guys how to start a podcast. It's easy, honestly. If you want to like just cut straight to it, it's a very easy process. Just have a good software and a good microphone, and pretty much you're good. Like you really don't need a whole lot, but I'm gonna be getting like deep and detailed with it and telling you guys how it started for me because it was honestly an idea like brought to me. It wasn't something I remember it was a while back before I started my podcast. I did post about it on Facebook because I remember I seen it in my Facebook memories thing where I wanted to, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into. But it was one of my friends. I actually had shouted her out, and still to this day, like I had to give her credit for the podcast idea. Is my friend Angela, and she was because she's a fan of podcasts, like just all types of podcasts. And she was. I remember one night we were talking, and then I think I was telling her about YouTube, or we had to been talking about YouTube, but then she brought up the idea of me starting a podcast, and I was like, I thought on it, but I just, I never went through with it and things. But yeah, she pretty much like motivated me to create one, and so still to this day, like I had to shout her out from time to time, when I am talking about like the success of my podcast or how I started a podcast. That's all thanks to my friend Angela's show. So y'all should definitely she has so she's working on a brand right now, and I don't want to spoil anything or say anything, but when I start promoting that brand, I'll let you guys know that, hey, this was the friend that got me into the podcast business. So definitely go show her some love and support. But anyways, but yeah, I was using a blue Snowball microphone, and I was using Wondershare Philomora. So the Blue Snowball microphone is a pretty standard and basic microphone, and it's honestly probably one of the best low budget microphones on the market. And you can get you a Blue Snowball because there's a few of them. Not Blue Ball. That's Blue Snowball microphone. Yeah, there we go. But anyways, you could get, so they have a black one. That black one is actually pretty nice. That's $50. And then they have the white one I had, which was also $50. And there's a gang of other microphones that you can pick up and use. But I would definitely recommend seeing videos of these microphones. And I can't remember when I got my Blue Snowball microphone, but if you want to watch a video of mine from either last year or 2018, 2017, I can't remember exactly when, but I know for sure I was using the Blue Snowball microphone in 2017, 2018, and last year. It wasn't up until this year when I started using this Razer microphone. I can't find the box. I might have thrown the box away, but anyways, it's a pretty nice microphone. It's pretty good, and compared to what I was using back when I had originally started taking YouTube serious in 2015. Oh, it's a car. It was like something it was a truck backing up outside. I'm like, what is that noise I'm hearing? I know there ain't no ice cream person running out right now. I'm like, it's 30, 40 degrees outside. And I'm like, man, you need to go home. I hadn't seen you since I was a kid. You better go back home. But anyways, besides that, but when back in 2015, I was using, if you go and watch some of my videos from back then, I was using a Turtle Beach headset to do my videos. So imagine if I would have started my podcast back then. I'm telling you, I would have you guys would have been like, bro, you gotta get you a new microphone. You can't be using some Turtle Beaches as a microphone. That is horrible, bad quality. Sounds like you up in the middle of a war. And then when you yell, oh my god, because I used to rage a lot back in the day. I have to say now I've chilled out on my raging when it comes to video games. But if you check back some videos I uploaded back in 2015 on my gaming channel, early videos, you could go all the way back to the first few videos I uploaded on my gaming channel, and I was using that microphone. So yeah, it wasn't too good. The quality was horrible, but I still gave it my all, and then even with my podcast, I was like, the blue Snowball microphone. Now I have to say it's a good, like, if it's just something like affordable that you're looking for, because you ain't trying to spend like hundreds of dollars on the microphone, which is it's not bad. Like if you want to aim high, like for your podcast, like you want a whole setup, like because what I'm using currently right now, I'm using the Razer microphone. I'm using Audacity or something like that. That's what that program is called. It's this free program. This is how you spell the program, but Audacity. So yeah, just look that up and then you can use that. But I also was using Wondershare Filmora, so you can use that program too. And how to record a podcast using Wondershare Filmora 9. So once you have like the program open up, you're gonna see a word. Pretty sure everybody knows what that word is, but it's gonna say record. Click on it, record voiceover, and then a voiceover thing will pop up, and you can record your podcast like that. But Audacity, you can once in the program is open up, make sure that your microphone. So if you have a blue Snowball microphone, or the one that I have is a Razer Siren X. If you could use either, because both of them. The Razer Siren X is a little bit more expensive than the blue Snowball. I had got this thinking that it would, at the time being, I didn't really like the quality of it, so I just continued using the blue Snowball. But as the time progressed on, I did start liking the quality of the Razer Siren X. So it's up to you, like whatever you want to get. Both of them are good headphones, microphones. So yeah, you could get either one, but make sure you're when you're doing it, you're getting ready to start, make sure it says like Razer Siren X or blue Snowball microphone. If it doesn't say that, then you're gonna have to click on it where it says like whatever the microphone thing is at. Because I know on the Audacity, it has like on the left side of the program, and it'll say like in the microphone area. Then click on it, make sure it's being used, and then test it out, see if everything is working. Do like a few tests, testing 1 2 1 2, like some stuff like that, and then see how it sounds. See if you like everything, and then do a couple of test runs, and then eventually record your first episode. But anyways. But what else? Then with the programs, so Wondershare Filmora is you have to pay for that program, but Audacity is a program you could use for free. So if you want if you want like low budget stuff, blue Snowball microphone, Audacity, and altogether you're spending like $50. But if you want like some like high end stuff, then you're gonna probably want to go to Guitar Center, because I know Guitar Center be having good microphones. You could possibly find you a good microphone on Amazon. What else? You could, definitely you could find you a good microphone online. There's videos that you could most likely find where it says like, top 10 best microphones to use, whether it's low budget or high budget, whatever you're in the market to trying to find. If you want to use some poor quality stuff, you very well can do that. That's the thing though. Don't go into your podcast thinking that people are not going to like it. People are not going to they're not going to listen. You can talk about everything. You can talk about nothing at all. It could just be a random podcast. You can do whatever you want. Like, put your mind to it. Don't give up. If this is something that you really want to do, do it. My thing is, it's like, no, don't be like, I'm gonna do it. Like, no, my thing is, go out, do it. And a website that you can go to where you can do post all your stuff for free for your podcast is anchor.fm. Go to anchor.fm, and you can come up with the cover art for your podcast. You could come up with the name, description, and as the time progresses on, then your podcast gets available on different platforms. So right now, currently, my podcast is available on Anchor, of course, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Spotify. And Spotify, I think that was one of the first few, because it ain't somewhere it's you have to hit a certain milestone. No, I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's the more you post, then that's the more different platforms you would be available on. So yeah, it's something that's really cool and stuff to know that I think it's just the more you post, your podcast would be available on different platforms. So, and I think as the time progresses on, it might be available on even more platforms. There's probably a podcast platform being created right now. So I'm like, yeah, definitely go out there. And I think that's one thing I'm gonna look up afterwards. Find places or websites or whatever, because I know that there's Facebook groups that you can join. You can possibly post your podcast on YouTube. Where else? Definitely post it all across social media. I try to post, because here's the thing. I have like 25 different YouTube channels, including my podcast channel. So it's I try to post about my podcast as much as I can. But it is what it is. Like, it's something where I'm not losing any sleep over it. I think they say I got like 10. Hold on for a second. Let me go back to the dashboard. It's loading, still loading. So estimated audience is at 9 based on recent episodes, and I got 25 unique listeners. And then as soon as I think you start your podcast, it's already like monetized. So you can so I've made so far like $40 off of my podcast, which is, it's not bad. Like, it's something. Like, that's how I see it. I'm like, I don't really care like how much money I'm making. Like, oh, it's okay. It's like, it's dope and it's cool that I am making money off of my podcast. But the number one thing that should be running through your mind is entertaining your audience. Always have something to talk about, always have something to do. Don't just do it for the money and things, because then I feel like eventually you're gonna run out of ideas, and then you're gonna be like, okay, dang, what can I do now? What should I do? This should I do? But then you out here stealing ideas, and then people are like, whoa, wait a second, hold on, like, what you doing? And it's like, and you're gonna get called out on some stuff. So definitely be unique with what you do, because I've introduced so many different things. I've done episodes shouting out my other YouTube channels. I've done episodes shouting out friends. I've done episodes where I will read about like Reddit things. Like, so you could go on like subreddit or on a subreddit and find like different stories and stuff to talk about. Because I know I had a series going on for a while where I was giving out relationship advice, and I'll read like a person's story and then give off the best advice I can give off about it. And I feel like I'm about to sneeze, but it was happening. It almost happened, but anyways, I was doing that. Then there was another subreddit where it was like Ask Reddit, and then you would ask like certain questions. Or answer certain questions, and I was doing that. I was doing a bunch of different episodes, and I try to like keep it daily. My podcast. There might have been some days where I missed it, but that was just me, like not thinking and being like, getting caught up like with one of my other channels, or, caught up just doing something and I forgot to post on it. But it's usually like maybe like midnight or 1 a.m. or whenever and stuff, I'll post the episode. So, and you can very well, like, you can post however many episodes you want and stuff. I don't know. I've never have reached a point to where they say you posted too many episodes, so now you gotta chill or delete some episodes. I don't even think that's even possible to do some stuff like that. But I know with YouTube, they have it where you can only post like 15 videos across your like channel. So like when you're very first not when you're very first uploading, or not like across your channel, but you like for the not for the day, but it's like when you're uploading videos, then you can upload 1, 2. So they like have it where you can upload 15 max, and then you'll have to like upload those all, and then start the thing all over again, and then upload 15 more. So it's like the cap is like 15. But for my podcast, there's been times where I posted like 2-3 episodes. I think the most I might have posted was like 3 episodes in a day. So, and your episodes don't have to be, because my episodes are usually like maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes, maybe to an hour. I think the most I've ever done was like an hour. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can find it. Length. Yeah, I can. Hold on for a second. Yeah, an hour and 7 minutes, and that was dang, that was me talking about the cafe job I worked at for. Oh, that was this year. Wow. Dang, I've done a lot of hour-long episodes this year. I did. All of them have been this year. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that that was. I should like try to break my record, make an episode like just talk about a bunch of different things. And yeah, because that was just me just talking about my the job that I had worked at for 4 years, and so dang, I didn't realize it was that long. But anyways, yeah, but you can talk about anything. That's why I'm like a lot of people when I bring that up to them about like starting up a podcast, they're like I don't know what to talk about. I'm like, you can literally talk about anything. You can invite people on like friends and interview them. You can there's so many different things that you can talk about. Find something that you like and just talk about it. And that's one thing where I was like, I wish I would have known that when I started up my YouTube channel, because I was thinking along the same way, but I still kept going. I still was all like, this is something I want to do. So I see this day, if it's something that you want to do, you just don't give up. Don't be like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to, you can find a bunch of, you can talk about paper. You can talk about shoelaces. Okay. You can talk about the weather. You can talk about cars. A whole shoe. You can talk about Pokemon cards. You can literally talk about anything. If you need ideas, I will write down ideas. I will do a whole episode themed on just giving you guys ideas of things to talk about. And most likely I'll use it for myself on stuff that I want to. But I'm like, no, if it's something that you want to do, starting up a podcast, do it. It was a friend of mine. I remember he was saying that, and I feel like he would have like the best personality for a podcast. That's definitely somebody. I think I've mentioned him before. I've talked about him before, but it was one of my old friends that I used to work with, Jack. And it was funny because I remember it was like one of the first few because he will always have like some crazy wild stories. I'm saying like that's definitely a guy. I'm like, yo, I gotta interview you one of these days, like, because he's in a band right now, and I'm like, bro, like when his band blows up, I'm gonna be like, hey, can I give you like a quick plug on my podcast, like interview you or interview the whole band, whichever. But I'm like, I got to do an episode like where I'm interviewing you and talking to you. Cause I'm like, nah, I'm telling you some of the stories that he told me. And I'm like, bro, if I was like, I probably would have had to, if I was going somewhere, and I was listening to his podcast, I'm like, yo, the place that I'm going to is just going to have to wait. Cause I'm like, I need to know what happens at the end of this story. Cause I'm not going to, tell you guys the story that he told me, but he told me like this like crazy story that involved him, and man, I'm like, I wish I can like tell you, but I'm like, I feel like it's a very personal story. It had nothing to like do with him, but it was just with somebody that he knew, but he was involved. And I was like, and I remember he told me like that morning, he didn't finish telling me that story until the end of the day when we were like cleaning up like our like work or our job and stuff. Because at the end of the day, like once when we close and we're like cleaning up the cafe and rearranging stuff, putting breakfast things out for the morning and things. So yeah, but I remember it was that story. I was like, bro, that's probably the most wildest story I think anybody has ever told me. I'm like, and the fact that you was there, I'm like, man, I don't know. Like I definitely, based off of what he told me, I would have never ever lived with a person where I'm like, you don't really know too much about them. I would not. That it really just buried my trust issues with people, because I'm like, I was open to the opportunity with having roommates, but after a story that he told me about his roommate, I'm like, nah. I think I think it's best. I'm like, if I don't have no roommates or anything. I think, yeah, I'm like, unless I know that they're okay and they ain't crazy, but I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was thinking the same thing, and then all of a sudden, something is hitting the fan, okay, I know words, all right, but anyways, yeah, but I was like, he's definitely one of those guys where I'm all like, you could tell like old stories about yourself. What else? You can talk about your family. You can literally talk about like anything like that you want to talk about. That's why I'm like, a podcast. A podcast is like, for those that was wondering, a podcast is literally like made for everything. You can, because the thing is that there's somebody out there that's going to be wanting to listen to what you talk about. So there's been at times like my most viewed episode where I was talking about and Viewer discretion is advised. I don't know. I feel like even saying a name, I feel like that would, like, I don't know, that wouldn't really do anything. But anyways, but I talked about Mia Khalifa, Walmart versus video games, and customer service. And that was in my second season of this podcast, and that has 33 plays. And then there was another episode where I did like it was like there's like the next 3 episodes, I think. Well, one, I don't know, it just says explanation. I think that has something to do. Oh yeah, that was talking about like some hate. But yeah, I know people, because people, they ask me about what's going on in my life. And at the time being, dang, did I do these episodes? Oh, these are recent. I was all like, wait a second, hold on. I'm like, I was all like, I didn't do those episodes this month. I was like, yeah, I did that. There was like, I did, well, one of the episodes I did last year, but the other one, now the explanation is like but it both at 33. That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, but I've talked on so many different types of things for my podcast, where it's like, you can find different stories and stuff to talk about. You could get interested into something. So like, let's say for an example, like if you're not a hip hop fan, like, you don't really listen to rap music that much, you could very well just look up an artist and just start talking about them. And then, it could just be a whole series of you talking about Eazy-E, and then worked your way up to NWA, and then worked your way up to talking about Dr. Dre and then his success after NWA, and then you could talk about Tupac, and then what happened like after Tupac, and then all these other things. You can review movies, TV shows, other music genres. And that's even another thing. I'm like, reviews. Oh my God. Like, a podcast where it's like about reviews. Oh, people would love that. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be short. It could be whatever length that you want it to be. You could do like a 5-minute podcast and just, talk about things for a quick 5 minutes. You could probably post episodes like that for the whole day. One episode in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then people are going to like it. Then they're going to want to, and then, then posting about it on YouTube. I know that's one thing where they've asked me. And I don't know, like, I'm open to the opportunity, but I feel like, I would like to improve my podcast in the like future and stuff, rather than right now. Like, I feel like once I'm in a much more better standings with like YouTube and podcasts and all that stuff, then I'll probably start focus on doing like a video podcast, and then just using the audio and then posting it, because I know you can do that on Anchor. You can like record the podcast episode, like the video, and then you can you like take that file, put it on Anchor, and then they just take the video part out and just leave the audio, and then you got like both episodes posted and stuff on both Anchor and on YouTube. So you could do that, post your podcast, like create a page for it on Facebook, or create an Instagram account, Twitter. So it's like, definitely that's one thing for sure, is to have this social media thing on lock. Like when you're creating a podcast or YouTube channel or whatever, you have to have the social media thing on lock. So like me, I'm like, I post about all the different channels and the podcasts and whatever. I post about all that stuff on my social media accounts. And that brings in more of a viewership, especially if you're finding like things to talk about. And you can also like take in like recommendations and stuff. Like, I'm telling you, you guys, like, you have to understand, like, your brain, not to like get like all spiritual and weird on you and stuff, but your brain is like a galaxy. It's just this open space with so many things traveling through it. I'm guaranteed whatever comes to mind, and it could be the dumbest thing ever, you can talk about it like it's the most interesting thing in this world. Guaranteed it's going to be a good episode. If you have faith in your podcast, if you have faith in what you're talking about, guaranteed it's going to be a good episode. So that's why I'm like, don't downplay what you want to do and things. Do it. Like, what was Shia LaBeouf saying about a few years ago? Just do it. All right? Like, go get you a Nike shirt that says just do it, and just do it. But no, it's like, jokes aside, like, don't, I know people, they always talk on that, like, oh, they don't have, like, no supporters, or nobody supports them on what they do. Literally, I barely have any supporters. Barely. I think I can, like, probably on 2 fingers. I'm like, there's not like, I know I got like fans on YouTube. I know I got my friends, they support me, but probably like on one hand, I can count up all the people that supported me. Maybe involving like a few fingers on my other hand, but I know I don't have more than 10 supporters. If I do, then it's like, wow, all right, cool. But yeah, I'm like, I barely have any supporters. I feel like the best thing for you is to be your own support group. Don't worry about what other people think about what you got going on in life. It's all about what you think about it. And I'm like, don't people's like their thoughts and how they think and what they, that's them. That's something that they know that they can't do. So it's like if a person's talking about, I can't support you with YouTube, or I can't support you with a podcast, or I can't support you, you want to be a WWE wrestler, they be like, I can't support you on that. The reason why is because they don't see themselves doing that. But you, on the other hand, you can do it. You can do it. Don't downplay yourself on something. You want to be, I was telling that to a fan of mine. I had reached out to this fan just because I was like, I didn't know who this fan was. I didn't know anything about their, their background history. I didn't know nothing about them. But I clicked on their profile. I seen that they had a SoundCloud link in their, or was it their YouTube? I can't remember what it was, SoundCloud or YouTube. But anyways, they're a rapper. And so I listened to their music. And I reached out to them and I said, you have potential. Like the music, it wasn't like my ideal music to listen to, but I'm not going to say like, stop doing music. Like, no, you have potential. You definitely, hands down, 100% have potential. Now, if this is what you want to do, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about what I like and what I don't like. It's not up to me on what I like and what I don't like. It's up to you and what you like and what you don't like. Because I feel like when they see how much fun that you're having with what you're doing, that's all that matters. People are going to support that. People are going to love that from you. And then that's going to inspire them. So I reached out to him and I said, I'm like, hey, you have potential. Don't give up on your music thing. He wasn't even expecting that. Like this guy, I don't know if he's like a big fan of mine or a small fan or whatever, but he subscribed to me on YouTube. He follows me on Instagram, likes everything that I post. So I was like, you know what? No, let me go out and show some support to him. And I did. And I was just like, I went, listened to his music, gave him some advice on it and stuff. But I made sure I told him because he was, I think he's like currently in high school or something. And so, I was just like, I just reached out to him. I'm like, hey, man, take this stuff serious now. Like, I wish I was, I wish I was in high school again. I can start all over and, start taking this stuff serious because when I was in high school, I wasn't taking anything. I wasn't taking anything from YouTube serious. And podcasting wasn't even in the plans. Like, wasn't even bothered thinking about a podcast. But I wish the person I am today, I wish I was that person back in high school. I wish I was that person back in 2015 when I claimed I started taking YouTube serious. Because I'm saying the person I am today, with all of the different ideas that I got running through my mind right now, from comedy skits, from music, from reaction videos, gaming videos, literally every channel that I have ideas written down for it, or videos that I haven't even published yet for that channel. But I have I have an idea for each and every one of my channels. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's possible to do whatever you want to do. If a person ain't going to support you on it, oh well, so be it. I barely have any supporters. Literally, the one and only person that I really trust when it comes to supporting me, there's like a few people, but I had to say like the number one person on that list would probably be Priscilla from Four Souls, because she was somebody that I didn't know, somebody that like we didn't know about each other's like background history. But I remember I told her about me, being on YouTube, and I told a lot of people about that. But that was the one thing that I noticed from her is that when I tell like friends I hadn't talked to in years or people that I talked to for the first time, when I asked them, and I started noticing that like after I became friends with her, I was just like, the people that don't do this, like they're not going to support you at all unless you give them like $10,000 or like $100,000. But somebody like her, I'm like, she supported me like not from the start, but at some point in time started supporting me. And it ain't even about like no money thing. It's I'm like, I know in the future, and I know I do have that plan where I'm like, her and her family, I'm just gonna like pay them off for all of this support and love that they've shown my channel. But it wasn't something I was like, I had to like do to get their support. They were supporting me all the way from from like them knowing me and things. So, but no, I remember it was like the first conversation that we ever had. I remember she had asked me about YouTube, And I think I was just like, telling her, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm doing some videos here and there and stuff. And then I remember she asked me like, I think she had seen some of my videos. I can't remember if I had brought it up or she brought it up. I remember somehow we got to talking about like the hate and stuff. So she had to seen some of like the videos that haters made about me and stuff. And she didn't think like twice of it. She didn't think anything of it. I'm pretty sure if she did sit down and watch one of those videos, or if she did what I did and was just like, this video is stupid, I'm not gonna watch it. Like I know who this person is that they're talking about, and I know that this isn't what they're saying in the video and things. I know that this isn't him. So she very well she very well could have watched any of the videos about me and turned around and asked me like, hey, what was this all about? What was this all about and things. And I would have gave her the most truthful answer I possibly could. I'm just like, haters is just hating, just trying to like get some views or stuff out of me and things, or trying to have me bow down to them. But I'm like, nah, that's not gonna happen. I'm like, I'm a grown man. I'm not no child. I'm like, maybe if I was a child, even if I probably was a child, they still would. It taken a lot for these guys to try to get me off of YouTube or whatever and things, but. Anyways, but throughout that time, like, and that's the one thing that I have to say is that she supported me when I was at my worst with YouTube. Like, this was the same year, I have to say, when I started noticing like my like and dislike thing was just just being destroyed just with dislikes. That like, because hold on for a second, but I got kind of a little distracted, but anyways. She like it was 2017 when it was like, because 2016 it was like some dislikes here and there was happening and stuff, but 2017 just rated all my videos just rated with false dislikes. She was supporting me then, and then and then all throughout like 2018, 2019, 2020, and then it was 2020 when I had hit 15,000 subscribers. She was like one of the first people to congratulate me on that. So I was like, because I remember when I hit 15,000 subscribers, I texted her. I told her, I was just like, yo, I'm so close to hitting 15K on YouTube on my main channel. She went out, she showed some support and things, comment on my videos. And then that was the one thing where I was like, I always had planned on getting me a gaming chair. And I'm pretty sure if you guys go to, because she has a channel on YouTube, it's a family channel, her and her siblings, called Four Souls. And it was a birthday video that she did for me. And that was one of the things, that was the thing that she got, where she got me like 72 things of Red Bull, which I drank all of that. But she got me a gaming chair. If you notice, like if you watch videos on my main channel, any of my recent videos, you'll notice in the background I have the chair that I'm sitting in is a gaming chair, but that was because of her. So I'm like, her and her family. So that's, I'm like, yeah, it's people like that where it's like they're supporting you at the start. Those are people that you got to keep close to you and things, people that support you at the start and stuff. But yeah, she she showed support. So I was like, that was something I'm like, that's something you can't forget. That's something that's like, hey, I'm going to forever remember that. And I just can't wait for the day where I'm like, winning awards and stuff, and I get to have like a speech, because that's definitely one. She gonna probably be the first person I think, because I'm like, no, you were supporting me when I was at my lowest with YouTube, podcast, all of it. So I'm like, you were there from the start, and I'm all like, most likely she gonna be there at the end. So. Anyways, yeah, but it's like, find people like that that's going to support you, and guaranteed it's like that's going to be like one of the reasons why you keep going. It's like once you realize that you have like a foundation or, a support group surrounding you and stuff, then yeah, it's like, that's somewhere it's, it's going to keep you motivated. It's going to keep you going and stuff. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe. If this episode was helpful, I gotta end it short because my dad had just called me, so I'm like, I gotta see what's going on. But anyways, I'll probably do like a follow-up, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know. You can ask me like on Instagram or on Twitter at TMossBoss. But yeah, I gotta cut the episode short because I'm like, I still would have kept on going. There's still like many things I could have talked about. That's what I'm saying. It's like, you could just very well, and that's the thing when I know people ask me like, do you have a script in front of you? All of my episodes that I've ever done, I have to say probably I wrote down the ideas of the episodes that I wanted to do, but none of my episodes have ever had a script. None of them. I've always done like things unscripted or improvised. Like I'm like, and you could do that. You can have a script, all of it. So Anything is possible. Just know that anything is possible. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Check out my merch store. I got some TMossBoss show merch up on there. Same like, colorway as my, as the cover art for my podcast. But yeah, go check it out. Got a bunch of the merch. And yeah, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.